Good morning. Thank you for being here today. Along with Nebraska State Patrol, the Nebraska Department of Transportation welcomes you to the Winter Safety Press Conference. I am Nebraska Department of Transportation District 2 Engineer Tim Weander. And one of the most important things we focus on every day at Nebraska Department of Transportation is safety. Together with our partners, we focus on the safety of Nebraskans in our everyday jobs, whether it's building and maintaining highways or clearing snow. That's what brings us here today, to bring awareness around winter operations and the people who clear our highways for your safe travel. Our people across the state strive to provide a professional service to all our citizens, but safety extends beyond what you may see as you drive by. All of us in state government take safety seriously. At NDOT, our safety focus is in our design of our transportation system, how we construct that system and maintain that system year in and year out. The focus on safety is foremost with our governor, who values and prioritizes public safety, as well as with Director Schneeweiss. One of the jobs that we do every year, without fail, is what we call winter operations, where much of our time is dedicated to removing snow from our state highways and interstates. How we conduct our winter operations underscores what we have said here today. Our business, our values, and our people are focused on the safety of the traveling public. Keeping our highways clear provides safe travel for our citizens and maintains mobility to keep our nation's economy moving. We understand the need to keep people moving across the state. This is why we work so hard to keep our system open for business, even during the worst winter storms. We have a dedicated statewide fleet of almost 630 trucks and approximately 1,000 people ready to handle winter storms as they roll through, just like this last weekend. Today I'd like to introduce you to Jake Brooks, Lori Dobbs, Dakota Tweedy, and Mike Gunderson. These are the face of our people, and as they stand here today, they are representatives of our statewide workforce that stand at the ready for winter storms. They and their co-workers are in fact my heroes. They are your snow fighters. They work days and nights, holidays and birthdays to keep our highways open for your safe travel. These billboards that you see here today represent our people, the work they do, and the values they hold. The message, your safe travel is our business, will be seen across the state to help get our message of safety right onto the highways where travelers can see it every day. As winter continues to ramp up, we want everyone to do their part to make sure everyone gets to their destinations and makes it safely home again. If you're out on our highways, we want you to be safe. Please drive slowly around our snowplows. We usually operate at 25 to 30 miles per hour. Stay well behind our snowplows because our plows are large. Our drivers can't see directly behind themselves. They may also be spreading anti-icing material behind the snowplow, which needs to disperse across the pavement to be effective. Be cautious around our snowplows. The plow or your car can be thrust suddenly sideways by drifts or hard snowpack. Be patient. Swirling snow from the plow and the other drivers can reduce visibility. Do not pass in a snow cloud. Wait until you can clearly see the path ahead of you. Never pass on the right. Many of our plows are equipped with equipment that extends on the right side, and the wave of snow is being pushed to the right. Always keep an eye on our snow plows. They need to turn, enter, or exit our roadways to do their duties well. Drive for the weather and pavement conditions, as pavement conditions are not constant. Drive cautiously on bridges, as they can become slick prior to the rest of the pavement. Do not use your cruise control during wet or icing events or slick pavement. Do not drive distracted. Pay attention to your surroundings and keep adequate space between you and other vehicles. Do not drive impaired. Do not tailgate, and please buckle up for your safety. Remember, click it or ticket. And with these billboards that we have shown here, the second one on my left is the one that actually goes up in the District 2 area in the Omaha Metro. It in fact is on display today, or is it up today? And will be up throughout the winter months. The rest of these, the other four that you see are across the state on the interstate system in our other districts. The people you see on those displays are on those billboards or from those individual districts across the state. With that, I would now like to introduce our District 2 Maintenance Superintendent, Jim Laughlin. He will discuss the actual winter snow fighting in the Omaha Metro Freeway and the interstate highway system. Jim?
Thanks, Tim. They've asked me to explain a little bit about what we do as far as winter operations goes. Well, first of all, when winter gets over, that's when we kind of start preparing for the next winter. We start refilling our salt dome. It holds roughly 13,000 tons. It's enough to get us through the winter. Before a storm, we're looking at forecasts, not just one forecast, but many forecasts, and trying to come up with a time of when that storm will start. What the forecasted low temperature will be. We're looking for what they're predicting for snow, the duration of the storm, and we put people on call. These guys, as they'll tell you, get put on call quite a bit. That means when they're on call, they're getting paid, on-call paid status, but it's so they can report to work within 45 minutes of when they get called out. We try to, our goal is to be within 2 hours of the start of the storm, or when the storm starts affecting the pavement. We like that so we can be out there right when the storm starts. It can make a huge difference. We'll check our trucks over prior to a storm, make sure the plow blades are good, that everything's working on the truck, that like this past storm, they ran roughly, 48 hours, something like that. We have to make sure that we service these trucks in between snowstorms. In 2009, 2010, when we worked 90-some days straight, servicing the trucks became quite a task because they were often out for a week at a time. We check over our highways. We look for defects. We look for things that our plow blades are going to catch on. We might pre-treat an area. Most likely not because of the mass of our interstate, but we do brine our bridges to keep, mostly it's for frost in the winter, but it also helps during a snowstorm, as a bridge will be the first thing to freeze. During the storm, when the crews are called in, the plow trucks go out. We have mechanics that are working 12-hour shifts. We have staff going up and down the interstate making sure nothing's freezing over. We're looking for problem areas. Now, at the end of a storm, that's when we do a lot of cleanup. Most people don't see it. The storm will end like last night when the storm ended. These guys were out cleaning up problem areas. They were widening out ramps. They were cleaning gore areas, things like that. Then we have to, like I said, we have to service these trucks again. We clean them up and get ready for the next storm. Like Tim mentioned, the thing that I want to really stress is these are big trucks and they have a lot of blind spots on them. These guys have a hard time seeing traffic weaving in and out of them. So if you're passing these guys during a storm, please give them a lot of space. Try not to crowd them too much. Stay back. They are spreading salt, and that salt takes a little bit of time to work. I think that's about all I got to.
Okay. Thank you, Jim. We can open it to any questions you have. Jim or I will answer, or we also have our crew here that they'll take questions too if you have specific questions on how they operate.
Jim, is this campaign that these billboards going up because there is a lack of respect for snow fire?
I think that's part of it. We want to recognize the efforts we do, the safety aspects of it, and to please be aware that we're out there. Yearly we get snowplows hit, typically more in the western end of the state where the speeds might be a little higher. We do get them hit in the Omaha Metro. We try and gang plow as we drove through the 5 or 6 lanes we have out there, 7 lanes, trying to push all that snow at one time to the outside. So it's a matter of just awareness to the traveler that we are out there. We're trying to do the best we can for them, some of the worst things that happen are when a snowstorm hits during the peak hours. And because we're stuck in traffic just like the rest of the traffic, we can only go as fast as everybody else is going, and we can't spread the material because then we're covering the cars with it. And so that hampers our efforts. There's some things that can occur that maybe shifts can be staggered, or some of the business can stagger they're allowing their employees to come in a little late or leave early, if that's a possibility, just to allow us to get out there and get on the roadway to do our business and try and make it as safe as possible. So yes, the awareness is the biggest thing, and the effort these people put in is tremendous. They want a safe highway just like everybody else does.
Jim, was there any issues over the last couple of days that may have posed problems for the drivers?
We did. This storm came in waves, so we'd get the interstate all cleaned up, then it'd start snowing, blowing again, and it would the interstate would slick up. The drivers, I don't think, anticipated the interstate getting slick. They're driving on a dry interstate, and all of a sudden there's an area that snow was blowing on, and there were some cars that were having some difficulties through that. What I'd like to say about having these guys on a billboard is these are human faces that go with these snowplows. These people, like Tim said, give up holidays, they give up birthdays, Christmases. I've probably worked more Christmases than I've had off, and I think the dedication that these guys have really needs to be commended.
Do you think sometimes that lack of respect by the other drivers can, make things dangerous for your drivers?
Well, they create dangerous situations, that's for sure.
John, with that, I think everybody wants to get home. Everybody wants to get to work, and so there are many times that the tailgating occurs, or trying to get that 5 extra seconds somewhere. And if our plows are out there, just please watch out for them. Give them plenty of space, because they are making sometimes erratic movements as they're trying to get all the lanes covered or get off a ramp. They might be inside and then trying to get to a ramp to get that cleared at the same time on that particular route that they've gone on. So. It's a matter of just being aware that we're out there trying to do the best we can. So,
is this a problem that you see that's kind of on the rise, or just letting people know that, hey, these guys are out there?
I think it's probably more just letting people know that we're out there now. State Patrol is here, and I don't want to put them on the spot, but distracted driving, I think, is probably up, and impaired driving. So those two factors themselves create some unsafe conditions, or some conditions that we don't like to see. So if people are just aware especially when it's slick, wet, or on that verge where you have some misting that could cause some icing, be aware of your conditions, drive safely. Have your tires checked. We're already in the winter season, but if you have some tires that may need some new tread, please do so, because I think that could be some of the reasons that there's some backups on some of the hills, is that the tire treads aren't where they need to be for winter operations. And we do have a tow plow out here in the yard, or out here on the street. It just came off the pavement, so it's rather dirty, but you can see what it looks like when we get them back. Most of the times they're covered with snow. I think this one doesn't have a lot of ice on it, but it is dirty. But we did bring it in so you can see it. They are a blessing, the tow plow. It allows us to plow 2 lanes at once with one operator. We wouldn't be able to do what we do now without the tow plow. We've been utilizing them for about 3 to 4 years. We have 16 in the district. 8 of those are within the metro area. And so we do cover the freeway system. All of our 4 lanes have a tow plow on them, so that goes throughout our district. Again, it's an amazing truck that allows us to do twice the work that we would normally be doing. So.
When we used to do cleanups, we used to put 10 or 12 trucks together to go out and do cleanups. With the tow plow, it's really cut us down to 2 tow plows, 1 regular truck can do an incredible amount.
And the key with that is we're gang plowing across the interstate system in the metro. Do not pass on the right, because that huge snow wave is being pushed 4, 5, 6 lanes wide and coming out on that outside shoulder or that outside lane that we may not be hitting at that particular time. But those cars, if they try and pass on the right, they will be inundated with snow. So,
Have you seen that happen?
yes.
Has people called in and said that, you guys damaged my car because I was passing a snow plow?
Yes, that has happened. Okay, we thank you for coming. We do appreciate it, and everybody drive safe.